This is the story of the Mughal Empire, a tale of power, ambition, art, war, and a legacy that shaped the history of India. From the mountains of Central Asia rose a young prince named Babur, carrying a dream that would one day become an empire. Inside the war tent, Babur and his generals planned their campaign, preparing to change the destiny of Hindustan forever. Through the rugged Khyber Pass, Babur's army marched toward India with horses, banners, and fearless determination. At the First Battle of Panipat, Babur's strategy and artillery defeated a powerful enemy and opened the gates to empire. As Delhi welcomed a new ruler, Babur entered in victory, marking the beginning of Mughal rule in northern India. In Agra, Babur built the foundations of power while young Humayun stood beside him as the future heir of the dynasty. In quiet gardens, Babur wrote his memories, recording the thoughts of a warrior, poet, ruler, and founder. After Babur, Humayun took the throne, but ruling an empire would become the greatest test of his life. Sher Shah Suri rose as a powerful challenger, and Humayun's throne began to tremble under the pressure of war. Forced into exile, Humayun crossed lonely deserts, but even in defeat, the dream of return never left his heart. In the Persian court, Humayun found support, and Persian elegance began to shape the future style of Mughal culture. Humayun returned to Delhi, and once again Mughal banners rose over the city with renewed strength and hope. After Humayun, young Akbar became emperor, guided by Bairam Khan and destined to become one of India's greatest rulers. On the training grounds, Akbar learned the skills of war, leadership, and courage that would define his future reign. Akbar's court became a symbol of imperial power, where ministers, warriors, scholars, and nobles shaped the empire's direction. At the Ibadat Khana, Akbar invited thinkers of many faiths, building a vision of dialogue, tolerance, and unity. With the help of Raja Todar Mal, Akbar strengthened administration and created systems that made the empire more stable. Akbar's army stood organized and powerful, with cavalry, elephants, officers, and soldiers forming the backbone of imperial strength. In the court of the Navratnas, wisdom, music, poetry, and politics came together, creating a golden age of culture. At Fatehpur Sikri, red sandstone rose into palaces, courtyards, and halls that reflected Akbar's grand imperial vision. Through Rajput alliances, Akbar expanded his power not only by war, but also through respect, diplomacy, and marriage. Before the empire map, Akbar looked toward the future as Mughal influence spread across more regions of Hindustan. As Akbar grew older, Prince Salim rose in the royal court, and silent tensions began to gather around the throne. Jahangir's court was refined and artistic, filled with painters, jewels, justice, and a love for beauty and detail. The chain of justice became a symbol of Jahangir's rule, giving even the common people a voice before the emperor. In Mughal painting workshops, artists captured birds, flowers, portraits, and court life with extraordinary detail and color. Nur Jahan stood beside Jahangir as a powerful empress, combining elegance, intelligence, and political influence. Foreign envoys arrived at the Mughal court, bringing trade, diplomacy, and new connections with the wider world. Prince Khurram became Shah Jahan, beginning an age remembered for royal elegance, marble beauty, and architectural glory. The love of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal became one of the most emotional stories in the history of the empire. The plan of the Taj Mahal began as a dream in marble, created to make love eternal through architecture. Artisans, stone carvers, elephants, and craftsmen worked together, turning marble into one of the world's greatest monuments. Under the moonlight, the Taj Mahal stood complete, while Shah Jahan faced love, memory, and silence. The Red Fort of Delhi rose as a new symbol of Mughal authority, carved in red sandstone and imperial ambition. On the peacock throne, Shah Jahan's court displayed the height of Mughal wealth, luxury, and royal splendor. As Shah Jahan fell ill, the empire entered a dangerous struggle, and his sons prepared for a battle of succession. Dara Shikoh represented knowledge and openness, while Aurangzeb represented discipline and military power. The brothers now stood opposed. Aurangzeb Alamgir took the throne, bringing a more austere and disciplined style of rule to the Mughal Empire. In the Deccan campaigns, Aurangzeb pushed the empire farther south, but expansion brought exhaustion and endless conflict. At its greatest size, the Mughal Empire stretched across vast lands, but a large empire also carried a heavy burden. In the hill forts, Maratha resistance rose with courage, challenging Mughal authority and changing the balance of power. In his later years, Aurangzeb sat alone in his tent, surrounded by victory, duty, and the weight of age. After Aurangzeb, the empire began to weaken, as divided nobles and rival princes struggled for control. Regional powers like Bengal, Awadh, and Hyderabad grew stronger, while the Mughal center slowly lost its authority. Nadir Shah's invasion shook Delhi deeply, exposing the weakness of the late Mughal court and breaking its confidence. The British East India Company moved from trade to politics, becoming a new power in the shadow of the fading empire. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, watched the fire of 1857 with the heart of a poet and a prisoner of history. The Mughal Empire faded, but its legacy lives on in the Taj Mahal, the Red Fort, gardens, paintings, and memory.